One thing that I had to discover about sticks is that they have an inherent method of joining. And if you drag one through the woods, you see what I mean. It entangles with everything. And it's that simple entanglement that I've used to hold these pieces together.
It's really interesting. People have to walk up to them and they have to go inside them. There is something that absolutely calls the child in everyone to crawl inside these little huts. And they have to touch them. They have to touch the outsides of them because they can't quite believe that somebody actually wove all of those branches. They're expecting to see metal or bolts or screws.
All the feelings that the public has about the work, those were my initial feelings. Ideas about things I'd seen in nature, starting points about shapes that I liked, natural phenomena, indigenous tribes, drawing. Even genetically, we know something about this material. Even before there were hardware stores, people went out into the forest and gathered tool handles and, supplies for making baskets, for carrying things and building their houses. Nice line. Just like when you make a mark on a pencil, you strike the paper with one weight, finish off with another, and it gives these kind of tapered lines. And it's those lines that very taper that I'm dealing with to help enhance the surface and give the sense that there's a kind of momentum. If you were to personify nature, you might think of it as some kind of forces, moving forces of water or wind or something. And so there's a way that you might imagine that these surfaces are caught up in the same phenomena of being moved, swept, jumping, leaping, careening, leaning on each other, teetering, all of these kinds of tentative situations. And I think that's what a good drawing has in its surface as well.
Like the cottonwoods he really liked because they were so different in color from the willow and the other material that he gathered. So he really was thinking about how he was going to use those to kind of accent the doors and windows.
I thought maybe this would die down at a certain point. And the work's partly been extended because of the general public's concern about environmental issues.
It's an interesting time right now with a sudden 25 years in the making green movement, that all of a sudden these really fit in with recognizing the planet as part of our materials and part of our structure and part of our sculpture.
I was like, oh my God, he wants us to get on that and friggin' work. I was like, this guy's crazy. I'll just let him do that part of it.
I liked the idea of making things that were obstreperous, that were a little bit rude, that didn't play by the rules. And in some way I thought that choosing sites that weren't real sculpture sites would make a more provocative sculpture. You walk upon something, it's not on a plinth. Hell, it's halfway in the trees and halfway out. It's in the street and in the park at the same time. Is it a jungle gym? Is it a phenomena? Is it somebody that intentionally made this, or did it just happen? And I let the work speak for itself, because after I'm gone, there's nobody around to apologize for it or to mitigate the circumstances of it. Ultimately, things don't have to be perfect. They just have to get done, and we've done a great job here at the Museum of Outdoor Art. We've had lots of help, lots of really good help. They have a raft of people that come in and help build their shows and put up sculptures around town and do all of the roustabout work that has to be done to, make things look nice. And all these folks have really pitched in and helped me. So I'm totally appreciative of what has gone on here, and I think we've made a really good sculpture because of it.